path here. It's too bad you couldn't have gone up to the rock. But that's okay. We're here right now anyway. Now, oh yeah, okay, so I'm going back through that away and through Mission. Now, is there anything we want to do in Mission? I was going to go and feed Lucky, and then maybe we'll go towards White Rock, or we'll go home. What do you want to do?
Instead of White Rock, go down to Crescent Beach.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Okay? But, I mean, I don't know. The beach may be so hot, it should be cooler. But there are one or two parks to go to, or me to drive around and figure out a few things, okay? So if you've got the air conditioning on, you've got to get that up. And then it's heating up the beef. What time is that? Oh boy, we're later. This was supposed to wrap for 11:30. Yeah, that was supposed to wrap. So we really are just kind of, I don't know if I'll make it up to White Rock to sit on the beach for any. I guess so. Cheers. But please eat something. Posted check on the road, but we're not going in that direction. It's from back in. Because we've done that. We've come back in from Fort Langley that way. But it's a lot of mucking around. You said you didn't want to go to Playgrounds and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I can't get over how great Mel's have any idea where you are. Wow. Oh, basically. But I'm not sure. Riverside. Oh, for fuck's sakes. It would take us in. It would take us all the way to Lucky. See, it does. It goes down that way, and then it... Yes, it does. You want to do it that way?
No, let's do it the way we know how.
Well, it will. I bet you will do it. That's Riverside. And it runs all the way down to there, and then along the... whatever. But it cuts off someplace. That's the problem. Now, this should be Selden. And if it isn't, I don't know where I am. Is this Selden? This is Selden. Got it. I'm brilliant.
Selden.
Yeah, that's what I said. Pretty cool, huh? You don't even know where you are, do you? Hey, that's a good little place to sit in. I don't think I got him. It was, wow. Okay, what is this one? What is this should be? That's what I thought. Boy, I tell you, most of this is coming back. Okay, there we go. We know exactly where we are. Is that good? Huh? Yeah, Riverside Bottoms that we have to tie across with something. No, I was supposed to be taking pictures there. I was saying Riverside, I'm not sure what. It's a great looking barn. Yes. Yeah, great trees and stuff. Yeah. It's almost through now. It was through here. Roughly. Times that. I could sit here and take pictures of cows. Oh, look at the baby calf. Oh. There, I guess I timed that well, didn't I? Yeah, I thought so too. Wow. actually like to see Lucky on our way in, but I thought it might increase a bit of timeline doing it this way. And it depends on what air quality is like too.
Oh, you're such a beautiful girl. You got an eye off your face. Yes, I know.
I'll save an apple for you to give it to her. Hold on to this one. But you don't give her that until I can get pictures of it.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay,
Hello, Lucky.
I brought you an apple. Yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, what a good girl. Oh, yeah.
Leaf and all.
Huh?
Leaf and all.
Oh, what a good girl. She really does. Yeah, you know? Yeah. Oh, and look at the look. Oh, just wait. Just wait. You want another one? Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, that's a big mouth. Yeah, there's your. You gotta eat that one first. Yeah, well, you do. Okay, you can have it. You were so excited. Okay, there. Oh, don't you drip on my boots. You dripped on my boots last time. Yes, you did. She did. Yes, I know. Oh. I'll have to
Yes,
go,
Lucky.
yeah, I'll have to go get more apples. Oh, okay. Yeah. What a good girl. What a good girl. I'm so thrilled that she's got the thing off of her face.
Yes.
Yeah, but she's got the lame walk happening today again. Yes, drippy baby. Yes, drippy baby. Yes, drippy baby. Oh, I know. Yeah. She's dripping on me. Damn, she's dripping on me. Okay, I want to put this in there with you. No! No! Take that and put that on the floor. Yeah, that's a bag. There. Oh, what a good girl. You have such a beautiful nose. You do.
You want to check just around the front wheel there?
No, don't give her that yet. Okay, then you better. Take pictures of it. Okay, look. Whoa!
Munchie.
And then, hi. Hang on to that. Hang on to that. And then just keep it for a minute. I'm going to talk for a minute, and then I'm going to get in.
You want to check, make sure there's nothing got her out of the
Huh?
front wheel?
The front wheel is fine too. I'm going to go over to Glen Valley. Shh. I'm talking. We're talking, aren't we? You got it. I know. Oh, good. You want your ears done? Oh, you want your ears done? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, you are just buddy and a half. I told you I was coming back to see you today. I did. I told you. I did. Yeah, I did. Oh, really?
You think so?
Really, I did. I said that. Don't show her that apple. Don't. What you thinking? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to come back and see you this weekend too. Would you like that? I don't know, just your ears. Oh, scratch the ears. Oh. Okay, Lucky. You are my good girl. Oh, you hear the train. That's the train. Again, that's the train. We got a couple of minutes with this, you know that. That's the train. Yeah. Just don't want you to drip on me, okay? Just don't drip on the boots. I've got people who really like the pictures. Is that the train? That's the train. I wonder if that's where maybe she's gotten hurt.
It's just strange, like that she would be even that concerned with it.
There, there's shots in your nose. Okay, shots in your nose. We're sitting and talking longer, aren't we, today?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
What is it? Oh, it's the train. Yeah? Is somebody over there? Who is it? Who is it?
Okay, Lucky, I gotta get rolling, okay? And he's gonna give you an apple in a minute. Would you like that? Yeah? He'll give you another apple, okay? I gotta go get in the van. I gotta go. Yes, I will, okay. Just wait and I'll get them and then you can look at that. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just wait a minute. Don't be giving her that yet. Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful girl. What a beautiful girl.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Please turn that off if you have the windows open. Be a good girl. I know. No, keep the camera back. Okay. And I can wash up my hands and do anything else. You know, whatever it was, I've knocked it off just pulling in that area. Okay, so we're gonna go here for a minute. If you want, we can sit here for a minute, or whatever else we're doing for a minute. And I'm going to clean up my neck. So if you give me some toilet paper, we're gonna get out and go to the bathroom, and we'll, you know, whatever else we're doing. The supper table's gonna be hot. Well, you know what? You're gonna walk further then, aren't you? But keep the plastic bag, okay? I've only got so many of them. You're gonna go put that in the Now, if you've got to go to the bathroom or change your tank, or what else do you... Okay, well, maybe you should. Or you can go to... I can go to the bathroom. All right? I figured you were going to come over this way. I should call Pam and see if she wants to try to do a picnic again even. Which would be nice, but the weather quality is not great for this yet. So. Well, it's supposed to drop briefly, and then next week it's again 38. So it's. I don't know what to do with. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna do anything else. I guess I can't put stuff on the roof. With this, I've got cardboard back in place because I think it's all melted off. I don't know. But now we're going forward through to Fort Langley and 232nd and take it down from that area. Yeah, and Riverside on Claiborne. See, that would be much longer than to do just simply Downs as a rule, but
Oh, look gotta go pee too.
Well, then you go. It's a beautiful day. It's like an absolutely gorgeous day. Am I going to say that when he's not here? I hope so. I really hope so. Oh shit. Look at that. Yeah, are we gonna say that then? I don't know. That has to go in there. Has to go in there, and that has to go in there. 2, 3. Good. Well, I take pictures when he's not here. Well, we don't know. Probably. Probably lots of them. To remind myself of moments. Yes, it's warm. Yeah, my phone is wrong. Definitely warm. It's a good breeze, though. Hold on. Nancy meeting you here, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so that can go back right there. And I often had, I had a, you know, a glasses thing, cloth. I don't know where it is. I thought it was in here. But these are basically that bad again. We're not turning the air conditioning on until it gets started, okay? Where have I got things? Oh, okay, a little ways back. Looks like a, what is that? What am I looking at? A Harley? What is that? Harley? Look, is it a Harley? It's Harley, isn't it? You come here a lot, don't you?
Pardon?
You come here a lot?
Yeah. How did you know that?
Because I recognize you.
Oh, is that right?
Yes!
I love it out here.
Are you from Fort Langley or?
No, I'm from Oldham.
Wait a minute. Have we met then? Down at the other place?
Where?
Hang on a sec.
What are you talking about?
You know the little heritage just down the way?
Yeah.
You were sitting talking with Pam, weren't you? Was it Pam? No. What was her name?
When was that? A year ago or?
No, in the last few weeks or so. No, month.
I wasn't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I do recognize just the way you're sitting in the vehicle.
Yeah.
We do a lot of those, go for a ride, and
This is Mrs. Buick. I love this car.
it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is big. You know, this car has not cost me 1 cent
What do you mean?
in repairs or anything.
Oh, pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, Rover's
Well,
down there.
at least you're in the shade. Well, we're headed for our drive. Take care. Have a good
Have a
day.
good
You take care.
You too.
too.
You drive carefully.
Oh, yes.
What's your name?
Carl.
Carl? Kai.
Tim.
Yes, he was. Carl. He was down there the other one. This is something from Aldergrove. Okay, so we're not putting these up right away, okay? Or the air conditioning on right away, but we will. Soon. Yeah, so if I had a snack, we'd go sit and talk, right? He was down there with, it wasn't Pam. She wasn't a Pam too. Oh shoot, I can't remember what it was. Because he was hanging out at the other one. So we're gonna go by slow and see what she's doing, and I can almost guarantee she won't pay much attention because we're going in this direction. Pretty well, huh? Yeah, I thought so. It'd be like if I lived in this area. Don't slow too much.
That's why she was
she's over there. No, you know that, don't you? And she probably just stood there even longer. Even if I wasn't giving her apples. Her leg's bothering her again. She looked at her the other day. I think it's the heat. I think it is. It's heat. And maybe that's what's wrong with my hip, because it's just driving me fucking crazy. Now, do you want to go to the farm museum or just go forward? What do you want to do? Well, that's because you get to just sit there in the air conditioning. That's all. And maybe I should go get cattails. But I'm not going to take this whale like cattails. I don't know. You got any great ideas? Huh? Yeah, well, you wouldn't be climbing into the ravine, would you? Guess not. What?
1:30.
Yeah. You see, I figured we would have been White Rock, but we're Crescent Beach. We're obviously not there yet, are we? Around Colonial. I won't shoot it. You'll shoot it me or when. Gotta go get cat food, and I'll tell you when we get back. So you should be feeding the cats. And I would like you to give them a half cup every day of that. That's it. Okay? Hello? A half. Yes, Nia, a half. I said a half. A half of one. Well, here comes Twinkie Butt.
Oh, hell, Nia, now I forgot what it was.
Yes, a half a one. That's basically, Mew won't eat as much as he will. He'll eat a good handful, and she'll eat about a quarter of it. There, okay. So that's what they've got. I know what it was. Okay. You really probably don't have to be totally frightened of me when I'm screaming at the top of my lungs and swearing. When do you think you need to be frightened?
On your forehead.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, so if I had a snack, we could
I mean, I can do a lot of damage. I can upset people emotionally. I can make them cry. I can do lots of things. But I ultimately can't hurt.
Oh, shoot, I can't remember what it was.
I get quiet. Things are bad.
Because he was hanging out the other one.
Trust me. So, I'm not up here screaming today. Well, that's kind of scary for me, too.
So we're going to go by slow and see
Because I know what that
what she's doing, and I can almost
And it
guarantee
means,
she won't pay much attention
I
to
don't have the emotional energy to.
Pretty wild, huh?
You doing that is
Yeah,
not
I
really
thought
what we
so.
should be doing. We should not be
You like if I lived in this area. Don't slow too much. She'll be back in. Oh, she's over there. Nope.
And what are you going to do tomorrow?
Not the same. Okay.
So why don't you get that written out? Because that would be a good idea. We need to reset a Teams meeting tonight, unlike last night, because I was distracted. Because tomorrow, by the time 1 or 2 o'clock hits Tim, and I don't know if I should actually indulge and ask your permission to come up here. I will be covering the balance of whatever. We're trying to figure out how to do it and negotiate with the hydro company. And Kevin does not know that I get to come up here, so he doesn't need to know. And the bottom line is I don't know what I'm going to do. It is that bad upstairs. And I've got to try to get my voice cleaned up, and I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. It's got to be better in the house, although I opened the window in there because it was so bad last night with heat. So I've got smoke in that room now. But we're pushing on the 95 mark right now upstairs. There is a hope in hell of taking the cat up there, and it is that strong.
That's why she was going to talk longer. You know that, don't you?
So I will be lucky to get you tomorrow or do whatever. You help me nail it and do some listening. By 1 or 2 o'clock, I don't imagine what I'm going to do. I'm not going to spend the gas to go towards White Rock, because that actually in many ways was blessed. I don't know if we survive it today.
I think it is. It's heat.
Saturday is not going to be different, and Sunday is it's just cooler. There is rain coming maybe on Monday. Maybe.
But now, if you want to go to the bar museum,
climate change, and I'm out burning gas and fossil fuels in order to increase it.
Sit there in that air.
Go figure.
That's all.
And I'm having a hard time putting my head around whatever's going on in my own life.
And maybe I should go get more apples if I come home this way. I don't know.
What goes into that toilet, Tim? Poop and pee, and that's it. I don't even put foodstuffs down that. Like if we had, soupy kind of stuff, that's it. It's got to go in a garbage, because I'm not sure how the pump will even do that. And I've done really good for the last 10 years with that pump. And I was told it could last me a lifetime if I treated it with respect and the way it should be treated. So every one of the butts you've put down there, and I don't know how many you've put down, will never come out of there. They lay in the bottom. Pretty cool, huh? They never come out. Did you follow that? Unless the pump goes down, changed, and the whole tank is clean. There, if I turn this upside down on its end, I'll remember to bring a garbage bag in. Well, you do now, and you did know that, because the only thing that you put down that particular head is something that has passed through your body. That's it. Watch.
Images it out from the image that you input.
Well, I would turn it off. What will that tell me when I pick it up?
It then gave me about 15 to 20 images. And
That will immediately cue me and say, oh yeah, so don't fuck with me, Tim, I've got to go get that garbage bag.
It looked at 10 years of global fashion trends.
So those are our mental notes. And that's how you do it. And you don't seem to have that ability or even want to learn. Nancy, you writing stuff down is supposed to be a way to learn mental notes. Oh, look at the book.
And the algorithm said, pass.
In the past, he
Okay,
had
so
been
that can
going
go back right there. And I often had, I had a, you know, a glasses thing, cloth. I don't know where it is. I thought it was in here. But these are basically that bad again. We're not turning the air conditioning on until it gets started, okay? Where have I got things? Oh, okay, a little ways back. Looks like a, what is that? What am I looking at? A Harley? What is that? Harley? Look, is it a Harley? It's Harley, isn't it? You come here a lot, don't you?
Pardon?
You come here a lot?
Yeah, how did you know that?
Because I recognize you.
Oh, is that right?
Yes!
I love it out here.
Are you from Fort Langley or?
No, I'm from Oldham.
Wait a minute. Have we met then? Down at the other place?
Where?
Hang on a sec.
What are you talking about?
You know the little heritage just down the way?
Yeah.
You were sitting talking with Pam, weren't you? Was it Pam? No. What was her name?
When was that? A year ago or?
No, in the last few weeks or so. No, month.
I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, I do recognize just the way you're sitting in the vehicle.
Yeah.
We do a lot of those, go for a ride, and
This is Mrs. Buick. I love this car.
it's gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It is big. You know, this car has not cost me 1 cent.
What do you mean?
In repairs or anything.
Oh, pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Well,
At least you're in the shade. Well, we're headed for our drive. Take care. Have a good day.
You take care.
You too.
You drive carefully.
Oh, yes.
What's your name?
Carl.
Carl? Kai.
Tim.
Yes, he was. Carl. He was down there the other one. This is something from Aldergrove. Okay, so we're not putting these up right away, okay? Or the air conditioning on right away, but we will. Soon. Yeah, so if I had a snack, we'd go sit and talk, right? He was down there with, it wasn't Pam. She wasn't a Pam too. Oh shoot, I can't remember what it was. Because he was hanging out at the other one. So we're gonna go by slow and see what she's doing, and I can almost guarantee she won't pay much attention because we're coming from this direction. Pretty wild, huh? Yeah, I thought so. What would it be like if I lived in this area? Don't slow too much. She'll be back in. Oh, she's over there. Nope. So you notice I can't see any mountains at this point? Well, I don't know yet. And look at, oh shit, that's who are you? That's right. Oh, hi. Okay.
Oh my gosh. What else am I grabbing for you guys?
That's it. That's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
I need to be 12:10. We'll see you in a moment.
What is her name?
Tell you.
They've got video here.
Yeah.
They don't all most of the places. Vicky thought this was the better one, believe it or not. She thought it was better. I can't believe the smoke bit. When we get on the highway, we'll do something with the windows, okay? Like look at this. There should be mountains out there. There should be mountains out there. But I thought it was that sweet. I was sick for the first half hour. Can you read that for me and tell me how much is on it?
Hey guys.
How are you doing?
Good.
That's how it's going.
I know. All good.
Hang on a second.
Did you want your receipt for that?
No, I want to put something on the card. How much is on it?
Oh. Well, it said you paid through, so.
Okay, read it and see how much is on it, and I'm going to put something on it. I feel for your generation. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Alright. Your balance should say underneath the receipt right
Okay, tell me what it is. I haven't got my glasses on.
21.18.
Okay, so put 50 on it.
15? Oh.
Yeah, 50.
50. Oh, 50.
Thank you. So how?
You guys are keeping busy?
Always. Usually, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's a busy life, for sure.
How long have you been here?
I've been here for about 3 months or so.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. I take a tour, go around to the other stores.
Do you like this one? You can't say that in public, so if you don't, just blink your eyes.
I mean, honestly, where you choose to spend your time, your waking hours, even though we have to work, I love my job. I really do. I work with great people. I get to see fine folks such as yourself. I get to drink coffee.
Well, that's always a
What more
bonus.
could a girl want, really? You pay me to do this? That's wonderful.
Can I get a receipt on that 52?
Yes,
Thank you.
of course.
Here. What's that?
I have this.
Oh, thank you. Let me put that in
You guys
there.
got your bikes on the road?
Yeah, but today I've got meetings, so. Oh, there's that.
And I have your other drink.
Oh, thank you.
You are very welcome.
Okay, take care, okay?
Yeah.
We see ya.
So good to
Here.
see you guys.
Take care of you.
Take care.
What?
Thank you.
Doing so we're going through this. Okay, and I'm supposed to get here through here how? Jesus Christ. This is just insanity. And that's about 5 right there. That's not the smartest way to do it. That's not the smartest way to do it. That's not. That will take longer. I was thinking we could go straight through here, but no, you know what? Is that thing spinning because of the air conditioning? I guess so. Oh no, it's strong here. Holy fuck. Now, do you want water in there? What? Cedar split. Tools. Yep. Wow. Oh, isn't it marvelous? It's so wonderful. You look overwhelmed. What's wrong?
I know what you. I was like, oh.
I love
Do
that
not
one.
touch drums. Okay. So
That one's just that one's quite famous.
Yeah. I saw, did you guys ever see about the hat? The cedar?
Yeah. Oh wow. Beads. Yeah. Oh.
I went on that one last week, the tour of that hospital out in,
What did you?
well, you could walk through.
Yeah.
It's been used as offices. I can't believe all the equipment's still left in it. And it was so dirty. Like they didn't even vacuum or anything. It was terrible. I mean, they're going to tear it down, but just the same, it was shocking that they hadn't... That's neat, so you can see it.
Yeah, that's a little closer.
Are you from Mission?
I work with Indigenous languages, including Upper Hilcomila.
Oh, where? In the school here?
Yeah, in the school and also online. So, but I haven't been here for I don't know how long because it's been closed.
It hasn't been open, has it?
No,
Yeah.
no, they started this year.
Yeah,
So
when did
that's
they
just-
close it?
Oh, it's been at least. I don't know. That whole thing with COVID feels like a 20-year span.
Oh, it wasn't COVID, I know.
I know. No, it was prior COVID.
Because I thought, oh shoot, I should have gone over, but then it's closed.
Yes.
So when I saw this, I thought, okay. The Longhorns isn't very big, is it? Unless...
More skill. Yes. You're here.
But it's, so this fish is
Giving people
hundreds
an
of years old.
education on staging.
Huh?
Giving people an education on staging.
Who, you?
It's like from the
Oh,
dinosaur.
well, that's cool. See?
Yeah.
I'm in the Spindleworth. But you see a lot of these down with, if you go down
that's why you
to
can't.
Appleton.
Who could eat all that fish anyways? That's like a whole...
Salmonies. Oh, this was the gift shop. That's right. That's right. Yes, this was the gift shop.
I like that it's nice and cool in here.
It is, isn't
it?
it?
Warm.
It is so, I don't know where all the smoke's coming from today.
Here was great. Scenic route. Here, take a couple of those.
It's a very beautiful rock.
Yeah, take that, the maps. I'm going to throw in the vehicles, okay? Yeah, what do you make of that? Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
You just go yourself and wander around.
Guess whose? How many of those have you handed out?
What are these?
Pretty wild, huh? Yeah. Okay, well, we'll sit down and just sort of eat. Oh, let me get past. Come on.
This is late nice.
Yeah, I know. Just put the maps together, and I'm going to put them in the two different vehicles. Grounds are really wonky. I had a thing. It's sunny. Yeah, we got blue sky out here. It's marvelous. That's what I assumed. That sunny would be here. Oh yeah. Okay. Hey, I'm going up towards the pit house. If I've been knock on the door and they close it, oh well. Is that door open for me? Oh, yes. Oh, wow. That's so A. Oh, chicha siam. Talk about healing. Oh, this feels so good. Oh, this feels so good. This feels so good. Can you shed? A hall's prominent figures in Stolo oral history taught 3 CM respected leaders how to write. Instructed them to share this knowledge with Stolo. When they did not, he transformed them into stone. This rock is called Haytham, literally sudden transformation. It's said to be most really. Squimble. Oh. 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 Oh, this is just, wow. I feel like I came home. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Ah. I never got to the van. Here, hold this.
All right, welcome. So how's everybody doing today?
Very well.
Ted Soleil. Hey, laughing.
One Spokane. Well, Spokane means around the bend. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to welcome you in a nice style of fashion. And I'm going to welcome you by way of song and prayer. Okay? So, I'm going to do the song, and then what it represents is we welcome you to Chetem. Chetem means a place of sudden transformation. And I'm pretty sure you're going to find out a little bit more about that from my colleague Salton Pit, also known as Terry Press.
Excuse me, can I ask you why you said your name was one thing and you've got that on saying another name?
Well, just like you know, I don't think you can understand my English, but you sure can understand English, can't you?
No, when you said your other name.
Thomas Pride, that's my family.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that has anything to do with this here, but thank you for asking. Okay? Alright. So, welcome here to Chetem, place of sudden transformation. And I'm honored to be here. And I'm thankful for your questions here, because a lot of times people don't have any questions or comments. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to welcome you with open arms to Chetem. Okay? So this song is going to represent thanks to each and every one of you for your received here. And we're going to give thanks just for the ability to be able to use our hands and our arms and our eyes and our voice and our breathers, our legs. We're just going to give thanks for everything that we have as human beings. Okay? So this is a childhood song. Welcome to faith. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed what it helps us do is it helps us get a little pause, pass, one motion all together. Now that was a paddle song, and there's a term what that represents is it's called lots of mott. Can everybody say lots of mott?
Lots of mott.
Lots of mott. Lots of mott means one heart and one mind. So by way of everybody paddling at the same time, that that indicates to us that everybody's of one heart and one mind. And the reason for that is they want us to have in our heart and mind that when we jump in a canoe, we're all facing the same direction, right? And we all have the same goal in mind, and that's to reach our destination in a safe manner, as well as one mind and one heart. And now, for the little pause that you heard in the song, the cowit. Can everybody say cowit? Go like this and say cowit.
Cowit.
Cowit is how we say drum in Ireland. So today you're going to get a pretty good cultural experience. You're going to get a taste of some heavy-duty style of history, and you're going to walk away with a little bit of language, if you can remember it, because a lot of them are just short words. Okay, so we learned how to say cowit. Okay, so what the paddle song represents to us and helps us do is lots and lot, but we also used it for a source of navigation. Okay, and how we did that is when we're singing a song and we're traveling along the coastline, and then you're traveling along the big, solid, rock-hard bluffs. And chances are, at nighttime, it's so dark that you're not going to be able to see where you're going. Sure, you could see the fires of the villages for miles and miles away, but those could be miles and miles away, and sometimes they could be hours and hours before you reach. But during that travel, when it's pitch black and you can't see along the coast, what they do is they sing their song. As they sing their song, they do a pause, right? And what that pause is created for is to listen for the drum beats bouncing off the bluffs. The echoes are bouncing off the bluffs, okay? That would indicate to us if we're getting too close to the cliffs, or if we're traveling in the shallow. About 100 years ago, generations ago, there was tons and tons of trees. There was no worry, no shortage. And that also indicated if we're getting too close to the shoreline or to the tree line in the stall as well. And a lot of times we ended up traveling in a thick, dense fog. That's how we navigated the boat. We just listened for the echoes bounce off the tree line or the bluffs. And also that there's traditional now, I'm not too sure of this either. What I'd like to do now, this would be strictly built for spring and summer. This is more or less a summer. And we take a look at the timber. Logs that we have here, those are very, very nice logs. But years ago, our lumber, we wouldn't use lumber that big. And the reason for that is because we didn't have the machinery to move them like we do now. So the biggest ones we'd really use, the biggest timber, would be something, max size would be something like that. And the reason for that is when you fall a tree, that's going to be a really interesting story too. 15 to 20 men have to be able to pick up that tree and move it over to where they need it. Now, when it comes to village site, they make sure that it's a really good remote area, meaning that it's rich enough with vegetation and resources, and they has good hunting grounds. I'm going to take your question a little bit later, and then as well as good fishing grounds. And as well, when they locate a good village site, they're going to make sure they have some good decent timber to fall, and it's not so far away that they have to pack it for miles and miles, rather than they'll just pack it for a couple or a few hundred yards. Now, if the weather permits and it stays well, nowadays, these homes are assembled with cedar as well, so that they can be so busy and cut out our planks and our lumber, and we stacked it nicely. It did last for a few generations, and it was able to be built or assembled in this. That's why they call them plank houses, and that's why we use such big lumber so that we can construct it and take it down when we need it. Now, these homes are relatively, the size of them would depend on the size of your families in the village itself. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my grandmother, my late grandmother, as an example of how big the families would actually be. Now, my late grandma had, my mom's mother, she had 18 kids. So, in the life expectancy of the style of people, because our diet was so traditional and so good, we lived well past 100 years old. So in our generations and our families, we went from, we had great-great-grandparents to great-grandparents to grandparents to parents to children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. There was many generations, and then if you take a look at this little partition right here, this little section, and then you'll see this, now that's how it would look in an actual longhouse. These compartments, these partitions, the size of these would depend on the size of the actual independent family that was living there at the time. So they're depending on how many generations they're living, and how many children they might have had. Yeah. So now what I'm going to share with you is how we used to follow these guys. Right? Actually, maybe I better go back to that painting here. As you can see, when it comes to people going on a journey, and if they're going to need to stop in or take a village or visit, what they have to do, so if you get a chance to look at it, be singing a song, right? Be singing a song, shout, and you'll see the villagers standing on the villagers that are close by. You can see some of them, they have their hands, start hearing this, right? And the reason why they might have their hands up and open, welcome and open arms is because, the travelers, they acknowledge that they come in peace. So there you go. They're going to start singing their welcome song. And I explained that some of the reasons why they might need to stop there would be for a night of shelter, or some nourishment, or make a real good trade. So that's a artist's depiction of what the village site would look like, and the canoe paddlers and the village people. And it's a really amazing story that comes along with Peyton here. And we're really grateful to a gentleman named archaeologist named Gordon Mose, who noticed, who was paying attention to the history of the Stala people and some of the different sites and transformer sites that were in the Stala territory. And Gordon Mose just happened to be driving by on the Wellview Highway going eastbound, going up to Chehalis to do some work up there with them. And you see there were some machines doing some work on the site up here, right? And so something dawned on him, and something told him in his mind and his heart, reminded him about the possible transformer stone legend that was located up in this area, in Hatchet Rock area, that's now known as. And sure enough, he came and took a look at the site, and he just put his hands behind his back and started looking around, see where all the dirt was being pushed around. And sure enough, he started finding surface artifacts, little tiny artifacts. And then he started finding more and more. Next thing you know, he was finding hundreds. So that was the answer to his question. This was a heritage site for the style of our style of people, and it did hold tremendous important history for the style of people. So that's a long story made short, and we'd like to take the time and we always acknowledge Gordon Morris for how do we follow these big trees, okay? Because we didn't have the power saws and all the machines we do nowadays, so we take them real fast. There was a technique we used, and it was called, okay, so now I've got a real interesting decent sized cobble chopper here to use. Let's try this. Okay, we're going to say this is our imaginary tree. Okay? We're going to say he's standing hundreds of feet tall and blowing in the wind, and he's still alive, and he's helping keep the air clean for us. Okay, so because that's a tree, and he does have a life of his own, and we're going to be asking for him to take the life of a tree. And how we do that is we come up to the ground by the tree, and we leave a love offering at the beach, and we acknowledge to the tree that we're giving thanks that we give up their life so that we can make some of our homes, some of our tools, and some of our weapons, and some of our tools. Then we proceed with just a fall. Okay, so this here is what we call the cobble chopper, okay? It's just a nice big cobblestone broken in half, and then try to do our best to create some nice jagged sharp edges, okay? That's a cobble chopper, and those are the sharp edges that we're looking for. And how we get this, ladies and gentlemen, is we grab a cobble like this, and we'll smash it on a bigger cobble, and then it'll break in half, and we'll come along and we'll start hitting that on the side of the other big one. And then try to get nice jagged edges cut off like this. And that's what we create a cobble chopper on a straight. Okay, so we locate our tree. Now, is everybody here familiar with what clay is? You know, clay is, it comes from the ground, right? It's great. All right, so that's a resource, and we gather here from the Mother Earth, and we give thanks to the Mother Earth for that. Okay, so we find ourselves a nice, good, nice sized cedar tree, okay? And when we locate the cedar tree, we locate roughly about up to the 4-foot mark, and we'll come along with our cobble chopper, and we'll start scraping off all the outer bark from the 4 feet down, okay, all the way down, taking off all the outer bark. If you don't know what the bark is, it's just this thing on the tree, okay? Simple, just try to make it a little bit more simple. Okay, so we located the tree, and we scraped the outer bark off at the 4-foot mark. What we're going to do now is we're going to come along with our basket full of clay, and we're going to cake it at the 4-foot mark, probably about 4 inches thick all the way around, 4 inches thick, and then 4 inches wide as well. And then what we do then is come along and we'll start a fire at the base. And it's interesting when I tell this story, some of the students, when they have the concern, well, when you start the tree on fire, won't the fire burn all the way up the tree? I said, sure it will, but not in this case. What we're going to do is we're going to start that fire, and we're going to let it burn. And where it's going to stop is at the 4-foot mark where all that clay is. And the flame is just going to stop there and burn and keep burning and burning. And that is what we call the controlled burning technique. And that is how we call our trees. So we let it burn for a while. And like I said, when we build our villages, we try to make sure it's in a good remote area, like if it's close to a nice sized creek where the fish can come up and you have to pass and you have to catch it. as well as close to the solo, and some good vegetation, some good dirt, some good soil. So we'll come along and we'll fill our baskets that hold water, and we'll talk a little bit about those later. And we'll come along with our dirt and we'll start extinguishing the fire. And after we extinguish the fire, we come along with our cobble choppers, the fire's all out, and then we'll start scraping off all that charcoal that was burnt. So we scrape all that off, and we start it on fire again, and just repeatedly do the same thing, and then eventually you're going to start hearing the crack, and the grandfather tree will finish by waking up its life. So that's a pretty amazing story about how we used to follow our trees, hey? And it took a tremendous amount of work, and I'll tell you a little bit more about different generations and what their duties were as a junior or a teen or an adult. Okay, so that is an official welcome to Peyton, the Law House, and Peyton again means place of sudden transformation. Okay, young man, can I please take your question now?
Well, it wasn't the question, it was because there was actually because those houses in the hills are houses for the winter.
Yes, very good, young man. You totally just touched bases on the next place we're going to talk about. This is our summer home, and then after we're done here, I'm going to take you to the winter home, exactly what you're talking about. So, grade one, let's take a look. Yes.
How long would it take probably to burn it?
Oh, good day, good day. Like, good days work, let's just say 8 hours. We'll let it burn for an hour, and then we'll extinguish it. And that'll take about a half hour, and then we'll come along and start it again. That'll be the
So you can fill a tree in one day?
Yeah, you can fall on a tree. Because the trees weren't that big, right? Yeah, roughly about that size. Big enough. Yes, sir.
Would you do that when the weather isn't super dry? Because what about thinking of the forest fires right now? Thinking about the surrounding area, right? You don't want to.
Roughly in the fall before the snow gets back.
Yeah.
As well as when the snow is starting to roll in. So, yeah, very good. They did have strategy, and we did have that in mind about the dry, super dry. Good question. Thank you very much. Okay, is there any more? Oh yeah, they're pretty barbaric. Yeah, they're pretty healthy, and they're pretty good muscles.
Some people.
Yeah, it's because of the wonderful food they have nowadays.
So your grandmother, you said, had 18 children.
18
And
kids.
how long did she live?
She lived to, she was 91. Not bad, eh? 91, yeah. And my mom had 8 kids, and she was going to be 80 this year.
And how many stolo are there around here? Because they count Chehalis and everything.
Okay, well, that's a good question. But now, before I take you to the pit house, that's a good thing too. Okay, so generations ago, there was 3 strongholds installed. The reason why I say strongholds, there were 3 of the bigger landings and villages in the great. And the main stronghold was located at the mouth of the river, Escala, where it runs into the ocean. Well, down there, that community is called Musqueam, but the actual pronunciation for Musqueam is Homothqueam. But our visitors from across the ocean, they couldn't pronounce our names. Yes, that's our time to head up there, but perhaps entirely. They couldn't pronounce our place names, so they called it Musqueam. That's an English version of pronunciation. Well, anyways, stronghold. Speaking about strongholds, that was our main stronghold. So they had about 20,000 people strong at one time, and they're lingering probably around maybe about 2,500 now. after almost getting extinct. And then in Kwantlen, the village where I come from, community, they had about 10,000 plus like that. And then back in the 90s, late 90s, our community just reached 200 population again after almost getting wiped out. And then the third stronghold was a little bit bigger, and it was located in a Chukwi, Chunawat. Okay? They had about 15,000 people strong there. And then for the rest of the villages up and down the Estalo, there's a number of different ones up and down the river. Their numbers were pretty big too. They had about 100 plus people. So yeah, all that a little bit. Our populations are still welcome to Hatem. You're just in time to make the second part of the presentation. And long story short, welcome to Hatem, and Hatem means place of sudden transformation. Okay, we just did a traditional welcome.
How long have you been doing the tours? Because they just restarted.
Well, yeah, I've been doing it with the schools for a year now. Yeah, and then I worked here back in 2001 to about 2004.
It is that long ago, isn't it?
Then, yeah, and then I was the maintenance man / head tour guy. So that was pretty fun. Got the boss people around.
Oh yeah.
And I love doing the tour though. It's
you know, I'll tell you, I snuck up here while we were waiting for you. It just felt like coming home.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, nice and cool in here, yeah? Okay, so we could find a seat on these benches as well as that kawa right there. Squished together, don't be shy. We're all brothers and sisters here. Come on. All right. So welcome to the Meadows. This is another part of the presentation and sharing. I want you to take a look at the structure itself. This is an actual, this is one of the ways, or the actual way they do it. A home like this, that would be roughly about the max size. The size of the lumber for a house like this. Like these guys right there, okay? Those guys. Just little guys. And again, because, you know, these places were assembled to made easy to assemble and then made easy to disassemble as well. We took them down because if we left them up, then the structure itself would start getting rot. It would rot a lot more faster, and then and it's kind of funny, but if we did leave them up, then the brother bears and all the other four-legged brothers would find a place to live in. We wouldn't have a place to live anymore. We'd have to kick them out, and we don't want to do that because we're put here to walk with our four-legged brothers and sisters.
It's not too close.
Okay, so there's a bench right here. Everybody wants to sit on this one here. Okay, so we talked about the controlled burning technique. I think I'm going to talk a little bit about it now because, we're in a home and I got time. So for the ones that weren't here for the controlled burning technique presentation and sharing, the controlled burning technique is how we used to fall our trees, okay? We locate a nice tree about this size. That's a perfect size, because 15 to 20 guys can easily put that on their shoulder and pack. And what we do is we locate a nice good tree with not too much limbs, but there's not any easy way to get away from that because every tree has a lot of limbs, but some don't. Okay, so we locate a good tree. We locate the 4-foot mark, 4 foot up. And what we do is we come along with one of our cobble chopper. Here's a nice, good example of a cobble chopper. See this? This cobble. It's got the nice jagged edges on it, right? So we come along with the when we come along at the 4-foot mark, we start scraping off all the outer bark with this cobble chopper, right? Okay, so after we scrape it all off at the 4-foot mark, we come along with some clay, and we cake it around all the way around the whole tree like that, about 4 inches thick, nice and thick. So, and we come along and we start a fire at the base, at the bottom, okay? And then when that fire starts to burn, it'll burn as far as the 4-foot mark where all the clay is, and that's what we call the controlled burning technique. So all we do is, like I stated down there, when we build a village site and homes, it's in a good remote area where it's rich with decent lumber and good streams for the stall, as well as a good stream, a spawning stream, and as well as good lumber. All right, and they always make sure that that when the journey, when you have to move the lumber, it's not too far. You know, they make it so that you have to only move it for a couple hundred yards rather than try to chuck it for a couple of kilometers, right? Who wants to do that? You do if you have to. But anyway, so we do that. We make sure it's close to some good water, so we come along with some of our baskets that can hold water, and we'll come along with it. We'll extinguish it with some dirt and some water, and then we'll come along again with our cobble chopper, and we'll start scraping off all the charcoal. And then after we're done scraping the charcoal, we just keep repeating and doing that system over and over until eventually. These steps here, right? Normally I think so that is how we should follow our trees. Okay, so back to the winter home. All right, okay. Chances are we'd be taking the risk of people getting hurt, and you don't need that, and we don't want that. Okay, so that would be the only entrance, okay? So if you didn't belong here, and if your intentions were to come here and do some harm to the people, well, what you wouldn't know, what he or she wouldn't know, is that when they make one of these stepping ladders, we'll leave one of the steps out, either the second or the third step out blank, okay? And the reason for that is, now what I want you to do is I want you to take a look at this fire pit. Okay? You see all these nice sized cobbles right here, and then you're going to see a nice hot fire, okay? Okay, so if you didn't, now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the sleeping situation, okay? Okay, so the order of sleeping situation would be, and I really like telling this, and sometimes the children and people would have a question, the good question, the big question after I tell it. So the situation would be the children, they'd be the first row going around. The second one would be the women, and then the third would be the men, and then behind them would be the elders. Okay, so let's say we have an intruder going to come here and try to do something he's not supposed to, or take something, or take somebody he's not supposed to. Well, he's going to be trying to come in that entrance right there, okay? But what he is not going to know is that there's one step missing from that ladder, okay? So he comes in, and he misses that step, and he falls on the fire pit, and hopefully he breaks a bone or two on these big cobbles right here, and hopefully he starts himself on fire. And what's going to happen when that happens? That guy's going to be screaming and antagonizing pain. Ah! Why did I do that? He's probably saying that to himself. And then, okay, what's going to happen next? And that person screaming and antagonizing pain, he's going to be waking up all those little children that are laying around there. And what's going to happen when those little children wake up? Ah! That's our source of alarm. So you get a bunch of screaming children. They're going to wake up the next row, which is going to be a bunch of screaming women. Ah! And then next thing you know, behind them will be the men and all the warriors ready to protect their people. So that is a pretty interesting story. That tells a big part of this home right here. It's just one little stepping ladder.
Do they cremate them right there?
Oh, we'll check them out. All right, yeah, we got to get them out.
How do they get them out?
Yeah, right? Yeah, well, Where does it go? There's a bunch of relatives. Okay, so we're going to talk about the entrance and what some of the start our fire. These cobbles here will then start to heat up, and they'll hold heat, but they'll throw an awful lot of heat, and it'll help keep the pit house nice and warm. But what else it does is it helps throw heat up, and if any rain or snow comes in, it'll basically evaporate before it hits the ground and before it comes in. Now, that's, if you're wondering about that, that's what would happen. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you a story about some of our fish and how our foods and how we used to preserve it. Now, is everybody here familiar with what a mountain goat is? This is a real interesting story. When I used to work here back in the early 2000s, we had some downtime. Some days were pretty quiet, so I'd walk upstairs and go to the archives and start looking at the Stalo history and legends, right? So I came across one, and it happened to be about the mountain goats up in Mount Chiam, and how the Stalo people, I better not give it away. Okay, so the Stalo people, okay, we needed to gather fur from the brother mountain goat, okay. So when we needed his fur, we didn't hunt him or kill him off. What we do is we'd locate a mountain goat trail, right? Okay? And then when we locate our mountain goat trail, we have our baskets like this, and a lot of the time it's kind of funny and kind of crazy, but we hope that the mountain goats would go walking through thick brush and prickles. And the reason for that is because then we'd go behind him, and follow in behind him, and we'd start picking off his fur from all the prickles and all the thick brush, and we would throw it in there. So our journey gathering as much fur as you possibly can were quite long. It went for days and weeks at a time, just so we could possibly gather enough. And it didn't only just follow one pack of mountain goats, they went others too, because there's many mountain goats and many mountains, right? So on one of our journeys, following the mountain goats, our journey came to a halt, meaning it came to a stop. And it came to a stop by way of the mountain goat trail leading into a cave, okay? Okay, so, human beings in general we're taught to exercise patience, okay? Sometimes we lose our patience and our actions ain't the greatest, and we make mistakes. So, I like to talk about the patience part too, just as a reminder to us as human beings. Anyways, we're sitting there, we're talking in Stalo, blah, 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 and we're all happy, gung-ho, thinking that, the brother goat's not going to be that long. Oh, he's in there for a very long time, and very long time, and very long time. So eventually, the Stalo people, we lose our patience. So what do? We go into the cave for ourselves. Go check out what the brother mountain goat is doing for our own eyes, okay? So we locate the brother mountain goat, but he's doing something very strange to the eye, okay? Very strange to our eyes. So what he's doing really strange to the eye when we locate him is he's licking the walls. The mountain goat is licking the walls. Okay, so the Stalo people were sitting there talking in our language, blah, 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 blah. So curiosity, right? Everybody knows the term curiosity? Curiosity? Well, sometimes, we got to talk about curiousness too. Because sometimes curiosity will lead you to something. Sometimes it might lead you to danger, but you don't know it, right? But anyways, when you get curious, we try to make decisions where we won't put ourselves in a bad situation. So we get curious, all right? So we go over there, and the Stalo people were talking in their language, we're scratching our head. I said, well, we might as well go over there and check out for ourselves what the deer is doing. So we go over there and we lick the wall for ourselves. And we found out what, we discovered what the brother goat is licking off the wall is the rock salt. Okay, that was really interesting. And then through the generations, we developed ways on how to preserve our food so that it would last through the long winter months. Because the snow levels were very deep. Like the winter seasons were very more harsh than they ever will be nowadays. And that's why they'd have to come in a home like this. And they basically just clear enough walkway so that they could, they could twist the trees. And the reason why they do that is because when we needed to store our food, we'd store it in baskets like this. Now, we didn't have refrigerators and deep freezers that we do nowadays, and how we used to keep our food nice and fresh is we put it in a basket, we send it up into a tree, and occasionally, there's a long clawed furry critter that can climb a tree, and occasionally, we'd have to put up with them climbing up there and snipping our rope and making our food fall on the ground and eating our food. But gratefully, when it came to a village, the people, they weren't selfish, they took care of each other. And if a family was in need of help, each and every one of the families would come together and give a little offering to them so that they would be able to be okay. So that is the story of the controlled burning technique in the winter home and how we built it and how the different generations came together and worked together to make it happen. And the last thing I wanted to talk about before we bring you back down to the longhouse and have a little chat with Salton, also known as Tarrington, is just our fishing. This is a deep net. Okay, this style of fishing was done up in the canyon areas such as Yale and up in Lytton area. And it's a very interesting story. This is a modern day one, and it's got all modern day materials, but what we used to use for this here, this is just regular twine, modern day twine, but we'd make something look exactly like that, but the material that we'd use would be stinging needles, okay? Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit, and I'm going to talk about the bedding, okay, in a home like this. Okay, so if you could turn behind that gentleman there, and you see that there's a mat there made out of cedar, and then behind this gentleman over here, we got a mat that's made out of bulrush. Okay, so those are two levels of bedding that we would have, okay? The first level of bedding we'd make would be a mat just like that, but it would be made out of material just like this. Nice fibery material. Now, there's some elements we had to deal with, and those elements would be fleas and bed bugs and just any kind of bugs that would bother us while we're trying to sleep at night. Okay. Now, it's a very interesting story. And we make our mat out of this fibery stuff. But first, what I'd like to do before I go on with this story is I'd like to show you how we get to this point on this part. So this here is a red cedar, old growth red cedar pounder. And what we do with this is we come along and we just pound this. It takes a lot of work. It'll be here a very long time, but the end result will be perfect because in the end you're going to have a good mat made out of this cedar bark. So, with you coming first, come on up and let's give this a try. And then we'll just go around. You can all come up one at a time, and here you go. Make this one out of here. See, pounding that will eventually make it look like this. Okay? Okay? Okay, but not today, okay? Okay, anybody else? Anybody else want to try? If you're desire to come try, feel free to come try.
So sorry, are you Thomas?
Yes.
I'm just looking at your medallion. Are we welcome to take pictures? Because I missed the intro.
Okay, anybody else want to come try the pounder? Don't be shy, don't be shy. Come on, come on.
So they stayed inside. I guess nobody had hip or knee problems.
Oh, imagine they did.
They didn't go
Sounds like
outside.
a chat.
Oh, I have hip, knee, shoulder, back, neck problems.
Yes, okay, all right.
Thank you.
So these are both cedar?
Yes, the horseshoe. They all looked at this at one time.
And is this the same process for the bull brush?
Yes. And the stinging needles too. This here is a dip, and normally this is a date twine, and normally we make a string out of a stinging needle, which is nice and strong. And then this here would be this is just cut out pipe, but what we'd use for rings back generations, so we'd take a moose or elk antler, which were nice and thick and round like this, and cut it into slabs, and we'd hollow out the middle, and then we'd get our rings. And for the wood, it'd be a fir or a spruce, something that had some pitch, and so that would help it last a little bit longer with the elements, meaning from the water and the weather itself. Or a nice hard yellow cedar. And they always try to make sure they find a piece of lumber or a limb that has a bend in it already, so that you should bend. And when they catch the actual fish, there was a time when you could see at the bottom of the stall. The elders used to tell us, there was a time when their elders, there was so much salmon going up the stall. They said they used to be able to almost walk across the river on them, and you could see to the bottom. But as time came, mankind started, showing disrespect to the Mother Earth by way of not knowing how to respect it. Just started hurting on Mother Earth. Okay, so when we catch our fish, you on a dip net like this, you're lucky to catch about 3 to 4. So you have to be pretty good shape to be able to scoop in that rough current. But when they get caught in this net, what's going to happen is all these rings are going to come together and they're going to close, so that they'll just be swinging around, and then the top will be closed, and then we just come along. And it's quite long, right? So we got the guy that's scooping, but he's got a guy ready at the end of it, ready to just flop it over, open up the rings and let them flop on the beach, and then the guy kind of swing along again and start skipping it.
Cross side.
Okay, so thank you very much. That is it. So push side for coming to be here with me. I hope you enjoyed my sharing. I wanted to come get my 2 bits of my work in, and now I'm going to make my travel to Alberta. To the archives, and a lot of what I share, I must tell you that I didn't get from a book. I was just grateful that I paid attention to my elders and my uncles and aunties when I was growing up. So with that, Kusai, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to take you down to Carrington, also known as Salty Bay.
So Kusai, sorry, can I ask, that's not Hulkamelan?
Kusai? It's Hulkamelan.
Yes.
It is?
Yeah,
So-
there's
so
two.
what's Haishka?
Haishka is both downriver and upriver. It's just a formal way of saying thank you to like a group that did some work for you, or you're doing work for them. Yeah.
Okay.
So both different ways of saying thank you. Haishka and Kusai.
I have to check on Tim, who's on oxygen. May I take a brief walk if I stay
Yes,
with the up there?
yes, how-
I would,
Yes.
yes, you Kusai. Okay. The rock is just up that way.
Oh, is that what it is?
If you're respectful, that would probably be fine.
I appreciate
And if I don't
that,
see
Thomas.
you
Thank
again, Atas Latalical, and have good travel.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's go down to Crescent.
Yeah.
So when you go up to the rock.
Yeah, so it's just up. See, there's another one right here. And then it's just up here, but I'm just going to walk up and take a shot back.
Imagine you have to climb up and down. Lightning rock. Sorta, maybe not. Okay, so. Oh, it smells divine. Let this go. Oh. Wow. Put that in your medicine pouch. That's what they're going to do with that. Oh, you're going to be covered in whatever. How are you doing with your oxygen tank? You're fine? Okay. I think we're next door in a few minutes. I can go walk up to the rock. There's somebody else doing the talk. I don't even know what time it is. I seriously have to go to the bathroom too soon. But I'm going to go over this way. Looks like Frida.
My wife's grandmother was stolen.
Oh! Downriver, upriver?
I don't know.
Cowichan?
I don't know what she would know.
Oh, okay. So upriver is considered basically about, if you were here for the talk, Qualtol, because I would work with that in the upriver, or then down from there to about Lady Franklin Rock, and after that it's Thompson territory. And downriver is Qualtol towards Vancouver, which then is considered Musqueam. There's also into Cowichan, which is the island.
So when Patel left on his journey, he was coming back around and he wanted to check in with 3CM. And he wanted to see if they were teaching the people how to speak the language. Then when they came up here, he checked the village out and he realized that they weren't sharing their knowledge. So he came in and he was upset. He came in through the trees and he said, I gave you a responsibility to teach the people how to speak the language and how to write it down. And he didn't do that, and he asked them why. And one of them said, you know, you gave this knowledge to us, and it was given to us, and it wasn't given to them. So we kept it to ourselves, and we stayed up here. And then he was upset, and then he transformed them into the stone. Suddenly transformed them all three into one big stone. The story was shared with us from Bertha Peters when they were doing the excavation here, and they were trying to dig up the rock, but they couldn't dig it up. And then there was a story. Sonny talks about when he talks about Shwali. So when we talk about these different transformation sites, a lot of them have morals. And this one right here shares with us about sharing our knowledge with our people and making sure we're not stingy with it. And then Shwali talks about like the life force. And our elders believe that the three people that are inside here are still inside, but they're spiritually inside. Physically they're a rock, but inside we believe that that's them and they're there. So that's the part of Shwukwiam. A lot of them kind of tie into families, like the one with Tupalatsa, if you heard about Tupalatsa. He's in the Chilliwack area. And then we got, if you take to see Mount Shiam, okay? But that's the story of Rocky. Come say hi, and then you can go through the walk and just take a look. And then yeah, sit over here. You're down. Mary, we're going to take a look.
Ah, look without. Ah, you used to share up with Sunny and Yale, did you not? I thought so. You got it. Oh. There we go.
But I want to thank you all for coming. On behalf of the Stella Nation, on behalf of the surrounding bands as well, Look Hamill and Mathically and Samath. And close off in a good way, and I hope you have a good day and maybe stay away from the smoke. But we're going to have a closing song and then it'll be wrap up. Again, thank you. I hope you have a safe journey home. We'll see you next week.
I want a shot of the cop, of the coppers.
A lot of them are different and they go further, like in the prairie, it's more higher pitched.
But out here, they were going up the coast, would they know when they were going into village, who they were?
Yeah, some of them have different songs like that represent their family.
Oh,
yeah. For like, all from, there were stories called the Fraser Valley song that we all sang here in Solitaire, so when we go down the river, we sing it, everyone knew we came from here. In English, it was a Fraser Valley, but it was a solo song for people. There's a lot of different, the lower mainland for the Fraser Valley as a whole, we're known as Stala Pelmo, or Stala people. But there's the Telti. They're inner tribes inside, so we have Telti, we have the Palau, and Tsalkoya. And then Matski is actually considered downriver for closer to the Vancouver area. They spoke a different dialect. In the Stala territory as a whole, we speak Halpamelam. We had indirect different languages in different territories, like the Telti, we probably speak a different language. And then the Plaut was a bit different, and then Tsalkoya was a bit different as well. And there's like records of them, but we don't actually know what they used to speak a long time ago, and I've been trying to find it. I've seen them, something, I think what book was it, the Chilliwack being Tsalkoya, talking about the language in Chilliwack, and I was looking at how they spelt it, and it almost reminded me of a language in Lummi called Sinchawson. And Sinchawson is over across the states, and it's with N's. But in our language, we don't use N's, so it'd be like, I haven't really figured it out, but we're still trying to figure it out. But it's, our language is like, the longer, so who was saying that the longer people live together, the longer they live in that area, their language gets more evolved. For instance, you go across the world, the language gets more unique, and then we speak English, and there's even different types of English that we speak. We go across and more slang and things like that. But it's understanding. But the language is slowly coming back within our people, and we're starting to learn. Further downriver, you got Scotish, where they teach at SFU. They're actually really cool. Their immersion program is actually really good. I have a friend that was learning his language, and he speaks it fluently now, which is actually really cool. Yeah, so I really hope it actually comes back where we can share more of our language with each other. But again, I hope you enjoy it.
Could they understand each other if they went from place to place with their
We'll get you out of what you're if you need to change. It's very good when you asked about fiction. I just come in and this is the teaching ceremony, so stop to get out. Chokwe and Papa Tan and Yolanda's there. Yeah, you can take pictures, but always, being respectful, that's really cool. Are you from the area?
I'm from Abbotsford. A very good friend of mine is Stolo. And so the last 3 to 4 years, I've been on a journey just to reconnect with the land as a third generation settler and ally.
Are you so you're third generation BC?
Yes. Yeah. So
it's pretty much all unceded. You know that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and your
I'm originally, so Kaitel Shakwat the Squee and Teliqual Talia Feltal. So I'm from Ontario.
Okay.
I do not self-identify as Stalo. I was very much drawn into the language because of things that I do with Teton Spat, eco activism and whatnot. But from back east, it's funny when you say third generation, because I'll tell you what, I got family, Southern Ontario, Point Peely, that were there before Canada was Canada. Okay. So like there's names on the Indian rolls that, I don't know, I'm also involved in TRC, so I tell this story because if you're on a journey, maybe you need to know it too.
Right.
I have genealogies that there are women missing. Yeah, I get chills and I just say, who knows? You know what, part of the family insisted we were all Scott. One or two aunties said, oh no, we know the truth. So that you never know where we're going right now at this point in time in our world and politically. And there are a lot of people on a journey. And this idea of language that we work with some upriver helping Mill, and I'm also working with Alabama at Back East. Listen, when you try to start hearing Stalo upriver or downriver, don't matter, or maybe a Ojibwe spoken as Salem Foods, we will know that we're starting to get where we should be.
Yes. Yes.
So that was your lecture from the...
I love it. Thank you.
Look, white auntie here, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Quizai, Quitslama. Why do I look like I should? And at least, I know it does. Almost blue skies. I was just sharing with the ones there. I think we're all on a journey. So what I'm going to do is tell you, just real quick. So Kai Tel Shakla Tisqui and Tali Kwa Tali. So my name is Kai, and my mother's from Ontario. And I don't self-identify here as Stalo, but I will tell you, because we're doing a lot of things. You're going to St. Mary's. This is your lecture today from Quickshwim, okay? White auntie. We're all learning. And you're in my age group, too. That's even more beautiful. There are so many things we don't know.
Right.
So I'm from back east in Southern Ontario and Point Peely. My family was there, portions of the family, before the Canada was Canada. Who knows?
So you may have...
I have genealogies that go back umpteen generations that there are women missing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There's a lot of things that, so I'm involved with TRC, Truth and Reconciliation. There's a lot of things that we are learning. And I think it's tricky because I always jump in and start speaking, and my wonderful Indigenous brothers and sisters usually let me run off at the mouth because my calling is to the settler. Okay, not to them. I need to be talking to the settlers and saying, hey, when we hear upriver and Save on Foods, we know we're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. Until we do, we don't. Right. I will share. I'm going to tell your story. So Tim is now on oxygen 24/7. Tim
yes,
is in
I was asking about his oxygen.
My age group. He's from back east. He's sort of connected in with the family and whatnot. he was an adopted kid. They said he was Mexican in 1960. There were no Mexicans being adopted in Ontario then. No, what was it? It was probably not Indigenous or Dawa, but it was likely
Anyway,
Native.
I phoned Jack on his birthday.
Holy mackerel, that's really remarkable.
And
So,
mentioned that
well, you don't have to, just open the
He grew up
pan.
in North Van. And so I said to him, well, you never went to any of the Indian schools, did you? And he said, no, but didn't I ever tell you what happened? He said, all my cousins did. He said, I was about 10, and he grew up in North Van, on the reserve. No, sorry, just a minute. Anyway, he used to go he used to go to meet his cousins after school at that school, which is now St. Thomas Aquinas, but it's just been on the news. So anyway, Jack said he was about 10 one day. He's waiting outside for his cousins to come. And Jack's mother was Native Indian, but his dad was Chilean Indian. Last name's Campo. Anyway, so Jack said, all of a sudden, he said, this nun comes up and says, get back in here. And Jack said, I don't go to this school. And Jack's always been super skinny and wiry and can eat like a horse. Anyway, he said, I started running. This man started running faster. So then one of the nuns came and said, yeah, get him back. He's supposed to be in here. So anyway, he's running home. Runs in the house. His mom opens the door. What's the problem? This man's chasing me. What man? He said, I don't know. Anyway, closes the door. Next thing, knock at the door, and
here we'll walk with this one.
Here's this man, and Jack said, that man, and his mom said, man, what do you want? He says, your kid's supposed to be in school, and she slammed the door in his face. So the next thing, 2 RCMP are coming.
There are
and this man's telling
things that went on.
Jack's mom said to his dad was back in the house. He said, come on in from. Come in here and speak Spanish. So the father opens the door to the RCMP, and they said they wanted his kid's supposed to be in school, and he's muttering away in Spanish. And one of the RCMPs had looked at the white guy from the school and said, we can't take him, he's not an Indian. I said, so that's how you...
I do these things when I feel led to. That is me. I'm on Facebook. That's the phone number. If you want, I'll take yours. And you never know. You look like you're on your... I'm doing a lot of online things right now with facilitating some Odawa study groups and the like. So I'm working with that. But yes, so I do Upriver Helcamilum. The difficulty with teaching is because BC changed all of our laws, and unless I, at my age, go back and get 11 years of university, this is insanity. I've got enough degrees under my belt, but so there's things that I am doing.
Well, this kid, I was asking him because I know a bunch of his relatives. Because I said the points.
What's your name? Oh, because you never know. You may send me a friend request.
I'll just give you a card. I said the points are supposedly the largest Indigenous family in Canada, and I said I learned that from your aunt in Walmart. 2 years ago, this East Indian friend of mine had moved from New York. We had to go down. His car was being delivered at the border. And the border guy said, you have to get insurance. And Walmart was the only place open. Well, it so happened this lady by the name of Point was there. And so I said to her...
Gwen?
No, it wasn't
Gwen.
I can't think of her name. And I said to her, I went to school with a whole bunch of the Point. Whatever happened to Joe Point? He was a kid in junior high, caused all kinds of trouble, but he was a fabulous artist, and I've always wondered what happened, and I've asked so many of them around here.
Find me on Facebook, and maybe we can get you to some gatherings and some...
And he knew a bunch of them I did, and a bunch of his relatives I knew, but he seemed to think Joe was alive, but he lives out in Chile.
Michelle, I got to get him rolling.
Yes, of course.
Chataswale. Good. Have a good day.
Whatever. So.
Oh, isn't it though?
Looks like it's nearby a park. Probably not. Veggie Bob's is really the best one going. I would go past her place. It's not the smartest thing to do because it's pitched to turn left, isn't it? Just want to see if she's outside at all. Everything look normal enough? She's got somebody else parked in front of her place. Oh, it's Pam.